What's up, kiddos? It's Mr. Hutch here. Sorry I can't be with you today. I really miss you guys. But you're very lucky you have the wonderful Mrs. Lux, who's an incredible person and teacher. So treat her well and just be amazing for her, please. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to model a few problems so that you are seeing my expectations and you're doing it the way that's expected of you. Because you guys all know by now, if you work hard and do what I teach you and do it that way, then you end up doing really, really well. So I want you to do each step with me and follow along and do the same thing on your paper. You don't need to do the actual calculator work for these ones just because I'm doing it for you and you can see. When you do it on your own, of course, you will need to test on the calculator. All right, so for this first section, underline important info. Find all the factors, okay, for each number. When it says find all the factors, we need to do a factor rainbow. All right, so it says all, so do a factor rainbow. So we're going to go ahead. The nice one with these ones is they have the line set up for you, okay, so you know exactly when you're done and have an idea of how they'll work. So the first two factors of every number. Now remember, we of course need to be thinking, what are factors? And so factors are, right up there on our word wall, factors are, can you do it with me? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Factors are the numbers multiplied together to find a product. All right, so again, hopefully you did that with me. Otherwise, that was very awkward and weird. All right, so factors, the numbers that we can multiply to make 15. So the first two factors of every number are 1 and that number. So here we go, 1 times that number, which is 15. We're going to draw our rainbow from 1 to 15. Sometimes we can put that little time sign to remember what we're doing. All right, now, after 1, we're always going to check 2. Does 2 times something equal 15? Okay, well, we know it doesn't because all multiples of 2 end in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. Does 3 times something equal 15? We know it does, but just in case you are doing calculator method, we're wondering, does 3 times something equal 15? We can't type this into the calculator, so we're going to do the inverse operation to find a missing number. And we'll go ahead and do 15 divided by 3, and you can see it checks out because it's a whole number. So we have 3 times 5, and there we go. And now obviously the next number we would check is 4, which doesn't work, and then there we are. You can see we'd be done anyway. So this is what you're expected to do for all of this section. Let's pause from here, move down to this section, and you'll go back to that with Mrs. Lux a little bit later. All right, so it says now try these. You can see that the helper lines have gone away. So you are going to have to test every number. So factors of 21. The first two factors of any number, can you do it with me, are what? 1 and that number. So let's start it off. 1 and that number. Write really small and keep them far apart. Okay, go ahead and do your rainbow. All right, and remember, if you want to put a times here to remember that that's what we're doing, that's what factors are, you can. All right, the next one after 1 that we test is 2. Okay, so we're wondering, does 2 times something equal 21? Well, we know it doesn't because all multiples of 2 end in, say it if you know it, 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. All right, so 2 doesn't work, so we're going to test 3 or tree. So at this point, we're using our calculator so we don't make a mistake. So instead of 3 times what equals 21, we're doing the inverse. 21 divided by 3 equals, and we can see it's 7. So we have tree times surfing equals Denti Sun 21. All right, we're still a little far apart. We have to keep checking. You can't just stop. This is a big mistake that some of you are made in the last homework, is not continuing to test, okay? Or just asking yourself in your head and you got it wrong. So test it with the calculator just to be sure. All right, so after 3, we're gonna check test 4. So 21 divided by 4 equals decimal. After 4, we test 5. We know 5 doesn't work because all multiples of 5 end in 5 or 0. So After 5, we're testing 6. So 21 divided by 6 equals, and that equals a decimal. After testing 6, we would test 7, but look, it's right there, which means we're all done. So we found all the factors of 21. There are 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2 pairs of shoes. All right, so this is what you're going to be doing for these problems. Okay, let's go ahead and flip to the next page. You can see you have your 4 column to work on later. Here is prime and composite. Okay, so we have prime and composite numbers. Okay, we know that when we're thinking about prime or composite, we're looking for how many factors that number has. Okay, so again, the directions say list all factors. When it says all factors, that means we do a what? Factor rainbow. All right, so list all the factors for the number 4. Okay, so this shouldn't be too hard because these are all really low numbers. So the first 2 factors of every number is 1 and that number. So we'll do our rainbow. Now we test the number 2, and we know 2 times something equals 4. So 2 times 2. Okay, and there's nothing in between 2 and 2, so we know we're done. So the next question says, is 4 prime or composite? Okay, underline your important info. And so we need to think about what a prime number is and what a composite number is. So do this with me. So ready, go. Here's the prime on the word wall. So ready, set, go. A prime number is a whole number that has only 2 factors. 1, and that number, what? 1, and that number, yeah. And then we have composite, ordered pair 1, 1. A composite number is a whole number that has more than 2 factors with our factor rainbow. All right, so back to here. Since there are more than just 2 factors, we know that this is composite. And you have to write the whole thing. You can't just put C or P. All right, so this is what you're going to be doing for B, C, and D. Okay? All right, work hard, kick butt, be awesome.